Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Last Week Out, your weekly motivational, inspirational podcast, which is brought to you by Butt Out E-Cigs. Pretty easy to spell, dude. Butt, 2 T's, out, no, not 2 E's, 1 E, cigs.com. Here's what they're doing for our listeners, man. It's some really cool stuff, dude. You can order whatever you want online, and if you put in the promo code Last Week Out, you get 20% off your order.
20?
You don't have to leave your house, dude. You don't have to leave your house for your vape stuff. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm sitting there watching Netflix and I'm like, oh shit, I need some vape shit.
True.
I don't want to leave the house. Boom, you can order it. It's not going to be there that day, obviously, because there's shipping and handling and all that, but you're going to get it
usually
eventually.
like a 2 to 3 day turnaround.
2 to 3 day turnaround, which is pretty good.
That's fast.
Yeah, they're hooking our listeners up. You can get on there at buttouteCigs.com. Promo code Last Week Out, 20% off your order. If you like that lo-fi banger, that was brought to you by DJ Devin Hancock. You can follow him on Instagram. And if you like our graphic design and our posters, that's from Sissy Art. You can follow her at Sissy Art on Instagram for all kinds of really cool shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Let's do some introductions here. We've got Anthony Spaghetti Wetty Arms Tatum, dude. And I say that because he's got the fucking reach of a wild condor, dude. When he hugs you, and then he hugs himself, and you're safe and protected.
And two men behind you.
And 2 men behind you, and you feel safe, and you're just like, oh, God, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be in Anthony's arms, dude. Okay, we got DJ Wicked Dr. David Slack. He's on the one. I feel like shit. I don't feel like shit. Thank you very much. That's David over there putting it up. He always does this shit to me when I start talking. He plays these drops, so then I get confused. Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath.
You have to introduce a pretty important person to tell you.
There we go. And then there's me. Chud Z. Okay, I am the captain of this here ship. I am the pilot. I'm just everything, dude. This wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. So y'all better thank me later.
Wait, last week you said I was the captain.
Yeah, I was feeling real nice last week, and I'm not feeling that way anymore, dude.
Things change, dude.
Things change. I feel like shit, dude. Things change, people change, dude, and that's just the way it is, dude. It is what it is, you toot. All right, dude, we've got a real special guest today, dude. And I've said that about all our guests because all our guests are very special, and we're doing a really special thing here in this studio over here at Cinnabar Studios, dude. Last Week Out Media. One thing real quick before David distracted me. Do you have a message that you want to put out there on the line? Do you want to start a podcast? Well, it's a lot harder than you think, and there's a lot to it. So if you're interested in that service, please reach out to us, DM us, email us, because what David is doing behind the scenes to get all this running up, to get the video, the editing, the drops, uploading it to platforms. Anthony, you know what an RSS feed is?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Exactly.
I just show up, eat breakfast, and talk for a while.
Exactly, dude. But David knows all that stuff. So holler at us if you're interested in doing that. We got a nice little studio set up over here. We can get you in, man. Back to our guest, special guest.
Very special.
I'm going to tell a quick story about the first time I met this man, okay? A few things, actually, too. He's also very beautiful, and you're going to see that in the video. And you know how you hear about, like, women getting catcalled all the time?
Yeah.
Which is a horrible thing that happens. It happens to him. He gets catcalled by women. And
it happened this morning.
It happened this morning. We're leaving the breakfast spot, dude, and this girl's just like... She's like, hey, I hope you have a good day. And she just looked him up and down. And I was like, that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I felt violated.
It was pretty bad, dude. So but it helps me understand. I've never catcalled someone, and I never will. But yeah, that's a horrible thing that happens. But he's just a beautiful man. So it's something you just got to come to terms with, I guess. The first time I ever met this guest was like 4.5 years ago. Okay. And we were at this place. And he was really upset with someone there, and he said he was going to take an AK to the entire place, I believe. I don't really remember. He was wild, dude. His hair was long. His vocabulary was minimal, dude, and he just was just a wreck of a human being, dude. And that's not the case today, dude. So I'm really excited to figure out, how did you get from where you were to where you are right now?
So, That was a powerful introduction.
That was nice.
Chad's hype, man.
That was nice.
But thanks for coming, dude.
Of course.
Taylor Popp,
Taylor Popp.
the one and only.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and we've known Taylor for a little while. Taylor, you live a pretty cool life. Here's a couple of things I know about you. I know that you make music.
True.
And then you were telling us this morning that you're going around traveling and speaking to kids at schools. And so what I kind of want to get into is a little bit about your backstory, where you're from, things like that. And then we definitely want to get into what you're doing now. So are you a Arizona native?
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct. Yes.
Born
yes.
and raised.
Born and raised.
What side of town?
So I was born in Glendale.
Okay.
And then I was raised, I guess you'd say like South Scottsdale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got siblings?
Southside.
You know, dude,
Let's
that
go.
Gangsterville.
So
you know what I'm
dude.
saying? Yeah. So South Scottsdale, but I was born in Glendale.
Yeah. Siblings?
So confusing, not trying to confuse anybody. I was adopted at birth, so it was a closed adoption.
Yeah.
Never met like my biological parents. And then my mom, who adopted me, was married to a guy, like, you know, my adopted father. He ended up passing when I was 2.
Holy shit, dude.
So let me try to follow me, right?
I'm with you.
So my father, who passed when I was 2, my adopted father, he, with another woman, had a son and a daughter. So that's technically my half brother and sister.
Were they living with you guys?
No.
At 2.
Okay, so kind of distant,
Yeah.
right? And then my mom remarried at 6. That's where my stepdad comes in, but he's my dad now. And he had 3 daughters with another woman.
Okay.
So I technically have 5 siblings.
Yeah, so like closer to like step or half.
Right. So the ones that I'm close to are the 3 sisters.
Got it.
And I'm the youngest. to
Oh,
make
I
it
totally
crazy.
get that, man.
I always wondered. So with the adoption, at what age were you told you were adopted, and like how did that go?
You know, it's funny you say that because I don't know. Right. So like I was thinking about this couple months ago.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, when did I find out? But the one thing I do know about that is my mom told me like real quick. Like when I was young, and like probably younger than like I can understand it. You know, I couldn't understand it yet. But she kept telling me from a young age.
Yeah, I was adopted at birth too, and it was the same way.
Right?
It was never a secret. It wasn't like some big reveal thing. It was
Exactly.
it was always known.
Well, we're learning a lot in the podcast.
Yeah,
David,
wait a
I've known
second.
you for
10 years,
years?
dude, and you're just now telling us this?
I mean, I share it in my story when I speak from the podium.
God, I
Maybe
don't
you should
listen,
go
dude.
to
Yeah,
a
you guys
meeting
watch
sometime,
it?
guys.
whatever, dude.
Dude, that's cool though.
So we'll talk about
the
that on the
fuck?
next episode when we have David as a guest, so we could actually know about our friend.
Tight.
So you were adopted,
Correct.
grew up in Sosco. What was your childhood like?
So from a young age, I mean, it was weird, man. So like when I get these sisters into my life, I'm 6, right?
Yeah.
And like me and my mom were cool, but the problem is that like I was super protective of my mom, right? Because like I lost my father, even though I wasn't conscious of it. Subconsciously, I had that abandonment problem already from being adopted from that. And so like I was protective. I didn't want my mom dating, but she's a grown woman, right? So she started dating. So when my sisters came into my life, I remember I was super like, no, you know what I mean? You're not my sisters. You're not my dad. I was standoffish, right? From a young age.
you're not my dad.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the crazy thing about this is that it took me probably a year to 2 years. My mom has it written down on a piece of paper that I didn't call him my dad for like a year or 2 years, or my sisters, which was harsh, right? And now I know that today, but at the time it was justified.
Right.
But other than that, like after that year, that 2 years, we got close. Like my sisters were cool. They were actually awesome. My dad was actually pretty cool, right? So I start like hanging out with them, and we like start growing as a family unit from there forward. And my early childhood life, probably from like 6 to 11, was incredible, right? Like I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. I skateboarded all the time from 6 on. I had a bunch of dreams, dude, like crazy dreams. Like, you know, a lot of people are like, what do you want to be when you're older? In like kindergarten and
Yeah.
preschool and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you know, you hear like the astronaut,
Fireman.
and the fireman,
Yeah.
or the police
The
officer,
garbage man.
the garbage man, hopefully. You know, whatever it doesn't matter, right? But they say the typical same things. And like, dude, for me, I told my mom, and she told me this when I got older. She was like, you kept telling me you wanted to be a professional surfboarder, skateboarder who lived in a shack on the beach in Hawaii.
Jack Johnson.
So a
dude.
drug addict.
He's so fucking
You
washed
were
out
the
drug
one only
addict.
kid that said, "When I grow up, I want to be a drug addict."
Literally, dude. Like, but you know what I account this to though is the one thing that's positive, like really positive about that is like I always looked at, and this is what I mean by dreams. Like I looked at success differently at a young age than most people did.
Yeah.
You
In
know
what
what I mean?
way?
In the sense of like I knew that it wasn't material from a young age.
Okay.
And I got caught up in the material later, which we'll talk about. But like for that time being, I just knew that the answer to like what I cared about in life was just happiness. Like I wanted that. That was success to me.
Oh, what a fun little kid, dude.
Yeah, it was weird, man. I was out
it.
there.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it'd be nice to be around a kid that's just reminded me of that sort of
Dude.
stuff. on a daily
I mean, well, I didn't even take my own freaking thoughts, or my own advice. But like I had a great childhood, dude.
Right.
It was tight.
Yeah, grew up in Sosco, and so around 6 or 11, you said from 6 to 11 things were beautiful. Did things start changing into your preteens and teens?
Well, yeah, like extremely, right? So like 6 to 11. So I had a lot of friends, right? I'm not boasting. Like I just like we all skated together. We were the skate crew at the school, dude. And then so when I got to maybe right before middle school, I started to feel like my homies weren't really my homies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we'd hang out and I'd leave and you'd be like, dude, that dude fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where that came from. It just kind of came out of nowhere because I wasn't tripping on nothing. Like I said, my idea of success and happiness, like that's all I really cared about. And I didn't trip on what other people thought at a very young age. But then when I started getting almost into middle school, I was like tripping on everything, dude. And I was like, nobody fucking likes me, and I'm terrified, and I was scared to go to school every day. I had to get my little emo hair fucking right, you know what I'm saying? And it was fucked, dude. It was fucked. And so that got worse and worse and worse, right? And then I started getting bullied, so that added to me feeling like I didn't fit in, right? So I got bullied like 5th grade. Bad bullied, right?
Were you a small kid?
So, yes, tiny dog. So like until 8th grade, and in 8th grade, I'll give you a little bit. In 8th grade, I was 5'5" and 100 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you're like 6'3" and 100 pounds now.
6'3", 160. Yeah.
Well, so you start getting bullied, all those things.
Right. So like, dude, I would go to school, and
Yeah.
these are my homies, right?
Okay.
2 homies, like close friends. And they'd like spit loogies on me and like slap me with loogies.
Oh,
and
man,
like
what kind of friends are those?
Well, this is the point, right? So like they were like borderline abusive, like for sure.
Yeah, fuck your friends,
Yeah, dude. Fuck those dudes. Still.
Yeah,
to
who
this
are
day.
they, dude? Let's
No.
shout
Yeah,
them out,
let's
dude.
say their name. We'll follow them up.
Hey,
and
dude,
stuff.
we
Just
got an
joking.
occult following that will handle that for you, dude.
So like it, and it was already bad though. Like I want to say like, yeah, like situationally, like that caused it to be worse, but it was already bad, man. And I think this accounts to like back early with my childhood and this new dad coming in my life, right? Like I was just like, it started to build this hole that just wasn't able to be filled because it was like that abandonment stuff, right? But I didn't know the problem, right? And there was more problems obviously, which we'll talk about, but like I didn't understand that like you're supposed to talk about your problems, because I wasn't raised to like get through everything like alone, but like kind of,
Right.
so like I didn't know that people like, we didn't really have that much in the household. Like, how are you feeling? Nothing against my parents. They did the best they could, but it
Absolutely.
was, they tried, but like I wasn't about it. So like I pushed them away.
Yeah, and push
Yeah.
off the idea of just talking about how you're feeling and things like that.
Yeah. And the homies aren't talking because they don't care,
Yeah,
right? They don't like me. So it's
fuck
like,
those motherfuckers.
yeah,
No,
dude,
so
fuck those dudes.
so middle school comes. What do you do to start feeling better?
So my first drug, dude, I say this every time when I present at schools, when I do my share, it's like my first drug was not drugs. Okay. It was attention.
Yeah.
Like heavily. Dude, I don't give a fuck
You were
what
a class clown.
Bro. So it turned into this fucking thing where it was like, I would do fucking anything for it. Like fucking anything. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, anything.
Come on, tell me
So
something.
like, for
dude.
example, it got so bad, man, because like all of a sudden I'm this insecure. Like I had all these friends, man, and I still have friends
Right.
that aren't spitting on me every day. But like, I just am so fucking insecure and like anxious, dude, like panic all the fucking time, dude. And let me give you a story.
Yeah,
to an
I'm
extent,
I'm
dude.
excited.
I was into Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was little.
Yeah, okay.
We all were.
Well, Pokemon cards for me,
Well,
but
both were fucking fire.
Okay.
So
Magic.
So I'm like, and Magic the fucking Gathering, right? So I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh and yo-yoing, right? So like that got me some fucking trash talk. Let's be honest here. And because I'd go into yo-yo competitions, bro.
Wait, yo-yo, like you
that's
were walking
dope.
that dog.
Dude,
Yeah,
I was
walking the dog,
splitting
dude.
the fucking attic, I think it was called. Dude, there were all these crazy like line
Jacob's
tricks.
ladder,
Eiffel
dude.
Tower.
Dude, fucking
I don't know.
dope.
That's one.
Jacob's ladder's
Dude,
one.
Jacob's ladder's a fucking dick piercing, right?
Whoops.
Okay, so
Sorry,
yo-yo
I
master.
have that, by the way. No, I'm just
More
fine.
of this one.
I'm just fine.
Yo-yo.
Okay, so that's not even part of the fucking story, man. I don't know where I'm going with that. But Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
So I'm at recess one day. This is actually elementary school, right? So I was already seeking attention to an extent. This motherfucker's like, he had a Yu-Gi-Oh card I didn't have. I was like, dude, I want that shit. Give me that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, eat this earthworm. I said, bet. So I fucking ate the earthworm, dude.
Swallowed it whole or chewed it?
No, he made me chew it. And here's the most fucked up part, dude. Here's the fucked up part. He didn't give me a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
Say
What was
his name, dude. What's his name?
No, I don't
dude?
remember that kid's name. I would fucking, dude. Honestly, I'd say it. Dude.
We did a message.
I
You
remember.
know you remember that kid's name.
No, I swear to God, I don't remember his name.
No, so I
really
get
don't.
it. So this is, you're kind of out for it. You're making jokes. You're doing stuff and craving attention. And
Yeah, just
were you getting in trouble?
lots because of the attention seeking. So like, I got to the point, man. Like, I'll literally verbatim. Okay, I'll say this. This is freshman year, but like, I'll jump back to 8th grade. But I'm just gonna say one thing I said in class one time. So we're reading like this poem. Okay. And the teacher, everybody's in there, right? It's a full class, 30, 40 kids.
She kind of asked for it though, making eighth graders read poems or
Freshman but
year.
it was garbage. But like, so we're reading this poem, and it's like fucking, dude, nobody understands it. It's like Shakespeare shit. It's written like Old English,
Right.
And we had to like kind of write like a poem ourselves, and like everybody's listening. And at this point, which I'll get into later, I'm high on triple C's in class, and I said.
Triple C's are cough medicine.
Yeah, cough medicine.
Got it.
Correct. Yeah, that you get at the store. And these kids are sitting there, and I was like, what did I say? I was like, love is like wetness dripping down a girl's thigh in front of the whole class. Like that kind of shit, dude. And then I got sent to the principal's office and like almost got expelled for that. Because at the time, freshman year, I'll get to this, I was at Notre Dame. I was at a private school, right? But dude, I started getting in a lot of trouble at home. I started getting in a lot of trouble at school. Dude, I was failing out early middle school.
Yeah.
Because I didn't care about anything, man. Like, and that's like the most important part of my story is the beginning. Because at that moment, it was like 5th grade or 6th grade. I put being cool and fitting in above everything else, dude.
Well, and what about skateboarding? Like, did you keep your hobbies?
So I skated until 8th grade. And the reason why is because I started drugs in 7th grade.
And then just cut out everything that you were
cut
doing?
out all the healthy relationships in my life, because I did have healthy friends in 7th, 8th grade, the
Right.
skateboarders, most of them besides those 2 fucks. And yeah, dude, the drugs like got me quick,
Yeah.
real quick.
Taking Quercetin, what else?
So 11 years old, I smoked weed for the first time, right? 3 18-year-olds that were my friend's older brother and his friends were like, hey, like, you know, you guys want to smoke weed with us? And like, because here's the deal, man, and that's fucked up, right? Now you look back, you're like an 18-year-old asking an 11-year-old to smoke weed's fucking crazy, right? But at the time, dude, I was like, he knew who I was, and I was loud and obnoxious because I need attention all the fucking time. And he's like, yo, Taylor, you know what weed is, man? Like, come smoke this with us. Dude, it's like a fucking line out of a movie, dude, right? And I was like, yeah.
You
fuck
get
it.
high?
So, backstory, my parents taught me all about not doing drugs, right? Like, they drilled that into my head over the years. And I didn't even think about it when he asked. Because it's an 18-year-old, dude. I want attention from fucking 11-year-olds. This is an 18-year-old. He's a fucking adult, dude.
It's a big win.
Yeah, dude. So for me, this is the best day of my life. This is the best moment of my life at this point, like up until this point from birth. So I'm like, yeah, let's fucking smoke weed. We get in the car. Guess what we do, bro? This is funny shit. This is like some Steve-O shit. We get a Coke can and, you know, we smoke weed out the Coke can.
Yeah, all of us smoked
Yeah,
weed
it was
out of a
fucking-
Coke can for the first time.
Dude, it was, the experience was something to be had at the time for me. Like, it changed my life. And here's the thing is I didn't get high the first time.
No.
I didn't. Most people don't, right? But like, I didn't feel anything, but here's something else that I fell in love with. This is my second drug, dude. Doing love is like wetness dripping down a girl's thigh.
Dude, I'll be
That's
honest.
fire.
I've been thinking about the poem, you know, while you were talking, and I was like, you know, trying to get deep enough to try and like, you know, transition it. So if you were in the principal's office, that you could be like, listen,
play
this
it
is
off.
what I mean by
To
that.
play it off.
But there's nothing, dude. That's
No,
just shallow and just it's just rude.
No, dude, I was fucked up, dude. So like, but dude, so I smoked this weed. We're fucking hotboxing the car. We're
Yeah,
driving.
your second love.
So second love, dude. So I'm smoking this weed. I get out the car. Okay? Nobody came with me. my friends. There was 20 of my friends at this house. The reason why is this kid had a skate park in his backyard in like rich Scottsdale. So I was there every day, right? Because I skated all the time.
What a dream.
And I came back in, dude, and like I felt like the shit because everybody kind of surrounded me. Like, hey, how's it feel? I was like, dude, this is the best life ever, dude. Like, this is what I want. And my second high was I love doing the wrong thing.
Like the reaction people give you from doing the wrong thing?
That and doing bad things behind people's backs, like my parents. I loved it.
You're
dude,
just a
I
little
fucking, it was
super
it was the adrenaline rush of it. No, dude, I was straight villain. Like I turned into the fucking Joker, dude. I was like, run it, dude. Like I'm gonna fuck everything up in my life from this point on.
So
and I
what,
was excited.
graffitiing, breaking stuff?
Dude, you are
All
on
of it.
point, dog. So 11 to 13, craziest fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Because
So-
everything was gay when we were 12.
Dude, so gay. Okay, there's a lot of that. But the thing is no, real talk. But the thing is we go from I go from smoking weed once, I get caught the first time.
What?
First time, dude. So
They smelled it on you?
No. I wake up the next morning. I have to wake up early to go to St. Louis because my dad's side of the family, my dad who adopted me at 6, you know what I mean? His side of the family is from St. Louis. He grew up there. And we had to take a flight like 4 in the fucking morning. Okay. So I go home. My mom doesn't catch me at night. I wake up, dude. So you remember flip phones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Razor, dude.
They were fucking lit, right? So I had a flip phone, but the thing with flip phones in the past, and you guys will remember this, is that there was no passcode really. It was you hit star and OK to unlock the phone. You remember that? Like before they added the passcode settings. And so my mom could just flip it open and go through the text.
Just peruse.
So I wasn't smart, bro. Like I had the villain mentality, but I was not street smart. So I texted that brother literally when I got home and was like, yo, in detail everything that we did and how I want to do it again.
Man, you just put it down on paper. You needed better guidance.
No, dude, it was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It was stupid. I got real good at hiding.
What was
shit
the
after that.
consequence?
I wake up. So my parents were really strict. Like I mean really strict. I wake up and my mom's like, yo, your life's fucking over. No, no, dude, it was the fucking worst. It was the worst wake up of my life. Well, there's a couple more, but this one was so bad, dude, because my mom's like, has my phone, and I knew immediately. I was like, dude, I'm so absolute fucked. Like, I don't even know why she had the intuition. It was intuition. That's the only reason she went through my phone, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
they
dude,
know.
She was sleeping when I got home. There's no fucking way. So she went through my phone. She's like, your life is fucking over, and you're gonna suffer the consequences when we get back. Because we had to go to fucking St. Louis. So I went to St. Louis, and I'm in the bedroom with my parents because we had to have a talk, right? Oh, back up. We're on the plane. We're about to take off. My mom takes my phone, dude, and calls all of the fucking 18-year-olds. There was 3 18-year-olds and me. And you understand why it's a bad thing.
It's a horrible thing.
Because they're fucking 18.
You're 14.
I was 11.
Oh, 11. Okay.
And they were 18. So this is a big, like, that would be a big case, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And,
Well, I'd be pissed at you.
well, and to be honest with you, like my dad who came into my life at 6, he's a lawyer. So like it was really bad, dude. Like he was like calling the parents and called the kid. Like we had to sit down at my house when we got back from St. Louis.
With
Everybody.
all the kids?
Everybody, dude. All the 18-year-olds and me. And I'm sitting there like fucking dying, dude. Like crying. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm going to get killed by these
Well,
fucking
that
kids.
made you pretty popular, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Well, I did get. Well, that's dude. The thing is like you think it's funny, dude. I didn't care about the consequences though, man, because I was like, dude, I was getting my name out there.
Yeah. That's good PR.
Dude, infamous or famous, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I was like, yo, you need to know Taylor Popp, and I was gonna do whatever the fuck it was, dude. I don't care. And so we go to St. Louis. We're having that talk. This is important. And my parents are like, dude, you're 11 years old and you're doing drugs. You know.
Right.
And I said, it's a fucking plant, mom. You know.
That's my favorite weed defense.
Dude, it's so funny. But like, dude, I believed it. You know, when you were in that state,
Right.
and I was like, dude, and it's still the same thing. But like for me, like I was like, I'm 11 and I should be able to do this because it grows in the ground. Dude, 11-year-olds shouldn't smoke weed.
Yeah,
Like,
shouldn't
you
do
know
a
what I
lot
mean?
of things.
Right. But like I knew I shouldn't have been smoking weed.
Right.
Like I was just a cop out. You know, I was like, dude, my dad's like, it's fucking illegal, and I'm like, yeah, but it grows in the ground. You know, that was my only argument because that's all I knew. I heard it somewhere.
It's natural.
Yeah, I heard it somewhere, and I was like, dude, this guy's an idiot.
This is undisputable.
I was like, my dad's a fucking idiot.
This guy with
dude.
a law degree is dumb.
Dude, I was like, I'm a fucking G. Like,
Okay.
I got that, dude. I got that fucking that bad mentality real young, dude. Like that fucking like chip on my shoulder. I'm a fucking boss, and you're not.
So how did school go after this point? So you start acting this way, and now you're just young and reckless.
So I get grounded. I'll tie this in, but I get
Okay.
grounded for 3 months, dude.
90 days?
90 days, dude. They take everything out of my room. Everything. I don't have a box spring. I have a mattress on the floor.
What were you doing all day?
No, dude, just wait. They chose my outfits. I could only wear like 3 outfits, so I could go. I was in middle school.
So you had like the khaki fit, the blue denim
khaki
fit.
shorts, collared shirt, running tube top socks, running shoes. 3
That's
months.
actually hot.
Yeah, right now
though,
that's
dude.
you're
Wait,
actually looking pretty nice.
But dude, when you
Back
were
then,
early
11?
2000s, bro, fuck no.
Nah.
Dude, everybody dressed like a G, dude. Like baggy everything, dude. I look like an idiot. I look like
Jinkos.
I look like a fucking
don't think
a
they're
frat boy, dude.
You were ahead of the curve, though, dude.
was.
That was fashion, baby.
Here's the cool thing though, because I had that fucking cocky mentality already. I was like, dude, I'm gonna rock this shit, and I pulled it off. But dude, so my mom, they do all this shit, right? And dude, I had to sit in my room all day when I was at home. I could only go to school and back. So most people don't like school, right? At that time, I fucking hated it. But guess what? I'm in love with school
right.
because that's where I see people. I can't converse with anybody.
Yeah, when
but my
you're
fucking parents.
incarcerated at your house for 90 days, dude, and you get to go to class, you just want school never to end.
Dude, it was fucking miserable, dude. Like staying at home. So I loved every waking moment. Even the schoolwork, dog. I was like, this is the fucking shit.
It's pretty fun.
This is fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? And dude, so I'm at fucking school, and here's the deal, dude. Life's about choices. Mm-hmm. I pitch that all the time, and that's what I believe. And I had 2 choices. I already made the wrong choice. I smoked weed at 11. I had 2 choices. I was like, yo, that shit was tight. I have 2 loves now, attention and fucking doing wrong things. And I'm this fucking boss in my own head. So I'm like, dude, I can smoke again or I cannot. Clearly, those are the only 2 choices. So it's the end of the 3rd month of grounding, and I start seeking people in my grade who are
You're about to get off probation.
who are willing to smoke weed. It's a fucking plant mom. It's a fucking plant mom, right? So who are willing to smoke with me, because most kids at 11 haven't smoked weed, right? So
Yeah,
I had
they're
to
a bit apprehensive.
dude, I had to do fucking investigating. So I meet this kid, right? We'll call him Jake, and I meet him, and dude, this is something I've always liked about my personality, even when I was doing bad things, is I've always rooted for the underdog, because I've been picked on. If people like the people that get picked on, I'm fucking friends with them, and that's what made me lose a lot of my popular friends, because I was friends with this kid Jake, but I brought him down, dude. I was like, yo, we're gonna smoke this shit. We're gonna smoke this.
We're gonna smoke
this fucking grass. You know what I'm saying, dude? And so we fucking start smoking.
Yeah.
No, we blowing, dude. We blowing.
Where were you
pause,
guys even
pause,
getting
by the way.
weed
but,
at 11?
dude, so the 18. I don't know how I pulled this shit, dude. I start convincing that 18-year-old I got caught with the selling weed. How? Dude, he was fucking dumb for doing it.
Yeah, he was dumber
I
than
would have
you.
never done that, dude. Getting caught by, and how my dad talked to him. He's like, I'm gonna put you in fucking prison if you ever deal with my son again. Dude, start selling me weed. And like, dude, here's the funny thing though, is I'm in 7th grade. There's a few 8th graders that smoke weed.
Yeah.
And deal weed. So I found them. I did investigation, dude, for 3 months. Like, you know, it was in the back of my head, like that I like doing wrong things. So, and dude, these are the bags of weed that have like all the seeds, and they're like brown weed, right? But I'm blowing, you know. So I'm chiefing, and me and him are chiefing all the time. After like 6 months of smoking every once in a while, we had to really hide it because my parents, like I said, are strict, and so were his.
Yeah.
And we were smoking every day, all day, dude. 7th grade.
What about girls?
So I meet my
Because this is like peak starting to like girl time.
So, dude, like, I was that little emo, bowl cut, swing, hair, girl pants,
Pretty
Oh.
face.
girl pants, pretty face,
Roxy
hem
pants.
gloves, cut off fingertips, like
Oh,
him
you were
the band.
something else, man.
Fucking diet, you know, everything, dude. Band shirt,
Yeah.
basketball shorts with the drawstrings,
Yeah.
Van shoes, high top socks.
What were a couple of CDs on rotation back then for you?
Dude, I was
Obviously him.
Yeah, but I was into hardcore shit. So I was in like for Job for a Cowboy.
Okay.
I was into fucking like Knights of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Like dark shit. I started to get into rap a lot too, but I was pretty seen, dude, for a while. But I was like, women were attracted to me, and I started getting some of that in 7th grade. And I met this girl, Caitlin.
Yeah. She was the first one.
Yeah, she was the first one. I lost my virginity to her at 12.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When did you have your first kiss?
11.
11 years
11 on the
old.
trampoline, dude.
Dude, me too.
Truth or fucking dare, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Truth or fucking dare. And I fucking ran it.
On the trampoline,
Dude,
first kiss,
and we-
truth or dare.
my first-
was I with you, dude? Did we kiss each other, dude?
we were fucking.
Yeah, me and you.
Dude, we were, dude,
That was weird.
back shots. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude. So like, dude, well, my first kiss, I'm pretty sure, like, dude, I don't count the little pecks in elementary school. Like, this was, dude, we made out. Like, fucking made out. I think I felt like grabbed her boob, dude. It was lit.
Oh man.
It was so tight. And then, and we were really bad for each other. Till this day, the most toxic. And dude, I've been married and divorced. Like, that was the most toxic relationship I've ever been in my life.
Okay, wait. But you and the girl that you lost your virginity to were together for
5 years.
Oh wow.
7th grade to junior year.
Yeah, you don't got commitment problems, man.
Dude, you know, the thing with that is it comes back to the attention seeking and the insecurity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to fuck other girls. I wanted to do that kind of stuff, but I was scared I was going to be alone. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'm just going to stick with this chick when she was cheating like the whole time. Because she was 8th grade. I'm 7th.
Oh,
Right, so
man.
she was
That's a big jump back
And
then.
dude, it really was, and dude, which is not a big deal anymore. But she was 13. I was like, or she was 13. I was 11, turning 12, dude. And like, she was popular as fuck though, like as fuck. Like she was one of the, you know, like mean girl type fucking girls, dude. Like she was the fucking, she was Regina George, dude. She was fucking balling. She was, dude. And I had my eye on her, dude. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I remember like, we had sex pretty quick. She was like all about that. Like, oh, you're a younger fucking dude. I'm going to show you the ropes. And she's never had sex either, dude. So I was like, whatever. It's like that J. Cole song. You know what I mean?
Dreams,
it's like wet dreams, dude. And she's never done it. And we, yeah, dude, I lost my virginity at 12, dude. And it's like, honestly, it was weird because like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all. Obviously, I'm 12.
Right.
You know?
Okay. So now you're pushing into high school.
I'm in a high school, dude. And I'm like,
Obviously dating.
Yeah. Well, it's my girlfriend, right? And, so I'm in high school, man, and I really start with that kid Jake. We start doing all sorts of drugs. Like, we're not just smoking. No. So 8th grade. I gotta say 8th grade real quick. We're smoking. We start taking pills. We start getting somas from high schoolers and taking those. And we start doing a bunch of drugs. And my progression got real bad, dude.
Yeah.
Real fast. So high school, my parents caught me again. Bad.
Dude, you're a second time offender now.
So Jake went to my parents and said, your son's going to die if you don't get him help in 8th grade.
Your good buddy?
My best friend, yeah.
Oh my
Damn, what good looking out, dude.
And I appreciate it. And I didn't know for 3 years that he did that. I just thought my parents found out, right?
Like they're wizards.
Yeah, so my mom's like, hey, guess what? Fuck you. You know, you're not.
Your life's over again.
Again. And she's like, you ain't going to the. You know how some middle schools go to like high schools? Like certain high schools? You know, like if you go to a middle school, like most people go to a high school that's connected with that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
You
saying.
get what I'm
like
saying?
You transition
It's like
to
a
that high school.
segue to
So
that
you
high
got
school.
transitioned to the
A
different
So
school.
my parents are like, yeah, fuck you. You're going to a private school, private Catholic school, dude. I'm not even Catholic, right?
What, that brophy?
No, it was fucking Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, your life's over again. You're going to fucking Catholic school. So let me tell you about Catholic school, guys. You can't chew gum.
So we're about to take a break here, actually.
At 33 minutes.
33 minutes.
But I think at Catholic school is a good way to start off the break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's-
all right,
it's
we're
intense.
back. Let's talk about Catholic school.
We're back.
No, we're not back.
We'll
be right
take
back.
a
We're gonna
break
be right
now.
back.
It doesn't have to be. Is it bad that
And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back.
Yo.
Do not forget, my people, to check out eSigs. Not at eSig City. What the fuck's wrong with me, dude? ButtOutESigs.com. 20% off your order. Enter in the promo code last week out, dude. Support the podcast, my people. All right, we're just getting back from our vape break. All our wonderful vape things brought to you by, you guessed it, butt out, dude. So holler at him, man.
butt, good big butt.
Dang your butt out vape, dude. It's got a big butt out vape, dude. It's sick, dude. Yeah, they got everything you need. So coming back from this break, Taylor Popp's been telling us his story, okay? Here's the thing about Taylor Popp, dude, all right? He's talented, and I think he's really talented, and we were just talking about that too. So we're going to get into some of the stuff that you're currently doing now, a little bit more struggle, and some of the stuff that you're doing now, because you're a motivational speaker. You go to schools and you talk to kids. That's fucking rad. You're a rapper. You're like the next G-Eazy, dude. Except when a couple people go backstage at the G-Eazy show, they don't return.
Wait, G-Eazy or Jeezy?
They're way different people.
I never knew the difference.
That's two totally different icons.
Jeezy's like a big thug, and then G-Eazy's like a white rapper.
Yeah, dude. Get that from the Yay area.
Who was first?
Jeezy.
Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeezy.
So wait, there's Young Jeezy too?
Well, that's no Jeezy is Young Jeezy. That's what he goes by.
Dude, we'll sit down. We'll do a little PowerPoint after this, dude.
Yeah,
we'll
he's
get
not
you
young.
indoctrinated
He's
in all the
not
music.
young anymore, dude.
Yeah, well, and you were talking about you were going to Catholic school.
Yeah.
And when we took the break, I know that you have such a large gamut of experience in overcoming different adversities.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
when we were out to breakfast, you were talking about 3 years into overcoming one adversity, you're overcoming another, and you're going through this whole change, and during all of that you're going to schools and talking with them, and you're also pushing art, and you're doing a lot. So get me from you're going to Catholic school into the hardship, and then the transition. Like, what sort of was the aggregate of that transition?
Yeah, and I'll sum it up because there's
There's a
of
lot.
stuff. But from freshman year, I'm in Catholic school.
Yeah.
And then I almost died my first time at 14, freshman year, alcohol poisoning, and
Damn, dude.
yeah, it was bad, dude. And like almost died in the hospital room 3 times. Like they had to save me over and over and over again. And dude, it didn't affect me. Because I didn't know, but I was already an addict at like 13 years old. And so by 14 I was, but I didn't know that, right? So I drank the next day. Like I didn't care.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't care. And I did drugs too. And then, from freshman year to junior year, halfway through junior year, I just did all the drugs and drank as much as I possibly could, and somehow lived through it. And then my parents sent me away to Utah for a year. And in the middle of the desert. Like, if you've seen the movie fucking Holes, that's exactly what it looked like.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Well, like Utah,
Digging
get
up
right.
them holes, digging.
Bro, we walked in
digging
a
up them holes.
We walked in a circle, and they made us act as like horses with a carriage. Like we had to walk a carriage all day long in a circle and chant like we're responsible for our actions.
Whoa.
Dude, it was worse than jail by far.
Were most of the kids your age?
Yeah, and they were all the way down to like fucking 13, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was 15 when I got sent away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you spent a year out there.
A year out there, bro, and I got out, and I made it a month without doing drugs and alcohol. Only a month.
What were you thinking at that age? Were you thinking that what you were doing was wrong, or?
Yeah, but I didn't. I was so resentful and pissed off at my parents for sending me away that I was like, I'm gonna come back and do more drugs and drink more out of spite. Yeah,
Makes
and
sense.
I did. I made it a month because like in my head I knew I was like bad, but it didn't stop me, dude. So I started to get back into drugs, and then I fucking dropped out of high school. I couldn't catch up, dude, because I was in there for a fucking year. I got
Well,
sent away
yeah,
halfway
dude, it's
through junior
mustard.
year.
You can't catch up.
Dude, yeah, you couldn't, and it was difficult. It was difficult.
Okay. And so you drop out of school. What do you do then?
So I went to SEC. I got my GED.
Okay.
And I went to SEC or community college, and I got some credits, and I transferred to ASU. And I convinced my parents, hey, like if I get credits, can I go to ASU? Like, will you help me go to ASU? And I had one motive, to get as fucked up as I possibly could, because now my parents aren't going to be in my life.
Right.
Yeah. And
Did you stay on campus at ASU?
oh yeah.
Which dorms?
Oh, dude, Hossie Yampa, dude. Room or floor 3. I don't remember the room, dude, but I fucking never have done that many drugs and drank that much in my life, ever. The first, dude, I moved in a week early because I knew
All the parents that are sending their kids to college,
dude,
they're gonna be
jeez.
fine.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. It was wild.
Okay.
So then that moved into my cocaine addiction at ASU. Became a full-blown cocaine addict and like a bottle a day drinker.
Right.
So I'm doing that all the way until like fucking 20 years old. But I knew I had a problem now. I knew I had a fucking problem. But I didn't care. I thought I was like born to drink, do drugs at this point, and die. That's a big difference from when I was a kid, right?
Yeah, well,
Put
we
that
were
into
talking
perspective.
about that was like, I think I was naive to my drug and alcohol use. Not that it was a problem, but I think I always just kind of allocated it as like, I'm a young man. This is what young people do.
What you do.
It's a social thing.
Yeah.
And then it obviously was not very social.
It was not normal.
But we were talking about how,
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of like a wave, a trend to be depressed. But you were saying when you were a kid, you were feeling that, and I know there are kids. I mean, I remember the first time someone committed suicide, and I just couldn't relate to it, And then for you saying, you just thought that you were gonna drink and die, because I always had high hopes. I was like, I'm gonna,
dude.
be an amazing man.
No, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
At this point.
Okay.
Probably from like 13 on, I didn't give a fuck that I was gonna die. I knew I was gonna die doing it.
Right.
It just didn't register, dude. Like that whole like, ooh, I want happiness, that's success to me, fucking was gone. It's out the window. So like something changed.
Okay.
Completely. And dude, I was in and out of rehabs a lot, like going to treatment to get off drugs and alcohol, and but I couldn't figure it out, dude. Like I saw these people and they're like, hey man, like this will help you stay sober and off drugs and alcohol, and I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around it, dude. So I'd like get sober for a little bit and get some months under me, and then I would go back out and like get drunk and high again,
Right.
And my parents got real fucking sick of it, watching me die and spending all this money. Dude, they just threw money at fucking treatment to try to save my life because they're so desperate, dude. And I didn't give a shit about nobody, not one person. And it just got bad, man. Like the drugs are one thing. Like I was on, the cocaine, the alcohol, but it didn't matter what it was, dude. I was just always looking to not feel me. So I went from this happy kid to fucking life was such a burden. It was such a burden to be
How
alive.
old are you now?
25.
25.
25.
So we're gonna cover a lot of ground in between 20 and 25.
It was, dude, but it was fast, man. Because I got sober, or I got off drugs and alcohol at 21.
Well, what happened that made you get sober? Like, because for a listener, like when I hear people talking about their struggles with alcohol and drugs, I think, to someone who hasn't been in the middle of it, you could say, well, the moral convictions were off. And then even for you had some, questionable decisions prior to using drugs and alcohol.
Of course.
You're in love with attention,
Right.
We have talked about that on the podcast before about some of the things we did when we were kids.
Previously.
I was a
Right.
bad kid, dude. I stole
For
baseball cards and threw rocks and did a bunch of things,
Dude, same, yeah.
Okay.
Fucking same.
Yeah, dude, we kissed on the trampoline, dude. I remember.
Dude, we did.
And so, for you, you're going back and forth. You kind of are, God, not like complacent, but resigned to this lifestyle.
I gave up, dude.
What changed from 20 to 21 when you finally, obviously, you get sober?
Well, so, dude, I became a meth addict at 20 years old. I've done it before, but I became fully addicted to
What a
meth.
messy drug to be addicted to.
Dude, it was rough, man. I was doing it all day, every day. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. So let me sum this up for you, right? What came to an end for why I got help?
Right.
Why? Because I didn't care, right? So what would change that? I had nobody to talk to, no family. I got kicked out of rehab. I have no friends.
Yeah.
Even the guy who introduced me basically to doing meth all the time, the guy I was doing it with all the time that I met in rehab, I was too unruly, apparently, because there's different levels, I guess, of meth use. But he's like, dude, I can't be around you, like, because I would, try to fight him or try to steal his stuff, So he kicked me out, and I was like homeless. I had nothing, dude. I had fucking nothing, and I already hated myself and hated everybody, right? So now all my external things are fucked, and completely, and they have been for years. But I got to this point, man, where I was like, I've been in way worse places in my life than the time I got sober this time. Way worse. But I convinced these 3 females to let me sleep on their floor of their apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, and they lived right by Old Town, which didn't help my drinking or my drug use. Like 5-minute walk. And I'm sleeping, which is in Scottsdale. I'm sleeping on their floor, and they let me live there because I brought them drugs and alcohol. I didn't have a job. I couldn't hold a job since ever in my life, right? And they all worked at CVS, mostly the same shifts, and I don't know how that's possible, how they got that fucking gig. But they're all working, right? And I remember, dude, it's the night before they went to work, though. So let me take it to there. I'm drinking, I'm high, and dude, I start fucking crying, right? I start like fucking sobbing, and I hate my life. And I've been suicidal like my whole life, like after getting into drugs. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Like, I'm so done with this life, dude. Because I'm never gonna quit. This is gonna kill me, but I can't handle it anymore because it's not really doing anything for me. It's not numbing the pain, so I might as well just fucking off myself. And you know, dude, it was a weird experience because like I started yelling at the wall. I started crying, sobbing.
Was anyone else there?
No, it's just me in
This
this
is the
apartment.
night before they go to work. Is that what you said?
Oh, no, it's the morning of now.
The morning of
So
now.
I
Okay,
go to
got
sleep. I got depressed the night before.
Okay.
And I was crying, and I was like, dude, I can't live this way, right?
Got it.
And I hope to not wake up. But that was every day, right? I just prayed I didn't wake up. The morning of, they go to work. I'm sitting there, that's right, and I'm staring at the wall, and I'm screaming at the wall like crazy. I haven't slept in like a week. I'm sitting there, and I'm sobbing, dude, and like I can feel everything. And my whole goal in my life is to never feel anything. I could feel it all. Nothing worked, dude. I was really drunk. It was 6 a.m. I was chugging a handle of vodka, right? And I started yelling at the wall, and I was like, yo, if there's anything out there, like, because I promised I would never go back to getting sober because I tried so many times. And I was like, if there's anything out there, give me one more fucking shot, dude. Like, if there's anything, like, fucking talk to me. And obviously nothing was like, yo, Taylor, I got you, you know, fucking swooped me up and carried me into fucking safety, you know? Dude, it was stupid. So at that point, nothing answered me. I was like, yo, fuck this shit, right? Something fucking happened, though, dude. Something fucking happened, dude. It just registered in my head, dude. It was like, it was out of nowhere, dude. It was like, I don't want to get high or drunk anymore. And there was a thought that came to my head. It's like, why don't you try something different and reach out for help? It wasn't my thought, dude. Fuck that. I wanted to die. Mm-hmm. And I had two choices. And that's what I always pitch, dude, is it's my life's about choices. And it really is, man, because, like, here's the deal. I know how to get drunk very well. I know how to get high. And I know how to fucking take too much so it'll fucking kill me, right, if need be. But I also had a phone. Somehow was still paying the bill or someone, whatever my mom was. I don't fucking know. Just to check on me or whatever.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, fucking Obama burners, right? So I call my mom, okay, because I made that decision. But let me tell you about that phone, dude. That phone was £1 million. And you hear that kind of stuff, but dude, it was the hardest decision I probably ever made in my life. And I call my mom. My mom's actually out of town. And she's like, dude, I fucking can't help you. I'm not in the state, you know? And she was done with me. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to help me. Not because she didn't love me. She just, you know, she'd watch me kill myself.
Song and dance.
Yeah, for so fucking long, dude. And she said, call your aunt. Okay? So I call my aunt. I was like, fuck. I could have said fuck it then, right?
Right.
But I was, dude, there was something guiding me, dude. It wasn't me, dude. I wanted to die. I prayed to get hit by cars every day, right? And I call my aunt, and she sends my little cousin. And this is huge for me because, dude, my little cousins, I have 3. They looked at me as a hero. They knew I was on drugs, dude, but they didn't know how bad. So she picked me up, and I'm like 120 pounds, 6'3". I'm 160 pounds, 6'3", and if you could see me, I'm skinny, right? So it's like I was a fucking skeleton, and she just starts crying right when she sees me. And it's like, dude, right? So she takes me to the hospital, to like a hospital in Phoenix, and I get off the alcohol safely so I don't, you know, have a seizure or whatnot. Because if you drink too much for a long period of time, you can have a seizure getting off of it and die.
Right.
So I got hospital treatment, and 2 people came and spoke in this hospital, right? And it was a guy who was a heroin addict who got off drugs, and a girl who was a cocaine addict who got off drugs. And they spoke, and something happened, dude. Just like when I didn't want to get high or drunk again.
A connection.
The craziest thing. And I don't even remember a fucking word they said. This is what happened. You've heard the term, like, your life flashing before your eyes, right? It was like I envisioned a timeline of my whole life. I saw it did flash before my eyes, but it was from the moment I smoked weed at 11 in that car for the first time till 21. June 18, 2015, right?
Yeah.
It was from that time frame. Every time I got arrested and went to jail, every time I did drugs, every time I hurt anybody, every time I stole from my grandparents, my parents, every time I got in fist fights, every time I fucked people over, no matter what it was, it didn't matter. You know, fill the blank. Every bad thing that ever happened in my life was due to my decisions and doing drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, man. It was fucking crazy. So, but I realized, man, that like I had to do something is what I'm trying to say. Like it was like I couldn't hide from the truth anymore. right? So the push was these thoughts that were put in my head, I guess you'd say. It sounds crazy, right? Because it is. It still baffles me, but no fucking way would I have gotten sober.
So if I wanted to cultivate that experience, say I have somebody who's going through what you're talking about going through over and over and over, back and forth. You've been in these places. People have come and talked to you before, right? Up
Right.
until that point.
Yeah.
What was different?
So everybody, dude, my mom used to cry in front of me. Why are you killing yourself in the family?
Right.
Right. And I would just fucking get out of my fucking face. Right. And get high. And dude, the difference was, man, is like when I had that moment of like, you should try something else. I realized for the first time, and I never realized this before, that like, dude, I really can't get my life together on my own.
That's a beautiful thing.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Well, just like the feeling of like, this is bigger than I think it is.
it was, and that was the moment for me. Like I said, I couldn't hide from the truth anymore.
Okay.
It became so much more, dude. It was like, because before I was always like, I would get off drugs for a little bit and life would get good again, dude. I get the fucking trust and all that shit back. And then I would be like, I'm good. Clearly I'm not an addict.
Right.
But this is that moment where I was like, dude, it's so much more than me. And I can't do this without help, dude. Like it's so much stronger than me. This obsession to want to get high and drunk.
So was it an uphill climb after that?
It was, but it was difficult, man. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
I've been to many rehabs, tried to get sober a lot of times, but this was the hardest. And, you know, dude, within a month of being sober, I was doing as much as, since that day, June 18, 2015, dude, I've done everything in my fucking power to stay off drugs and alcohol. And I mean, the list is like over and over. I was helping multiple people every day. I was taking people, you know, down the path to help them get sober all the fucking time, dude. Like I was constantly like reading spiritual things. I was constantly talking to people that were sober and off drugs for a while because they walked that path before me, dude. And I was doing everything, man, because I was desperate.
Well, and that's a big thing in our community that I really like is that we're taught to live in service, you know, and kind of it's sometimes I don't know. It's not misguided, I would say, though. It's kind of out of what you think the normal thing to do is. Like if someone's struggling with depression, you know, it would be almost poorly received to be like, you got to help other people who are struggling with depression to help yourself.
Right.
You
That
know?
sounds backwards.
Yeah, it sounds
completely
backwards.
backwards.
Maybe you need to
gotta give it away to keep it.
Gotta give it.
or maybe you got to help some people move some tables and chairs, dude.
Dude, so that's my experience, man. Like whatever anybody fucking told me,
Whatever you were asked.
by people who I
Trusted.
yeah, it's people I trusted, of course. You know, because like it wasn't about getting the attention anymore, man. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I wasn't scared of death, probably from 11 to 21. I wasn't, but all of the sudden, I was desperate to live. All of the sudden, like I said, it was a miracle, dude. Like that was one of those things. That morning, it was fucking a miracle. And then when those two people spoke, it was a miracle. Another one, dude. And it's like, I could see the bigger picture, dude. For once, it wasn't just this micro life. These fucking, you know, shutters around my eyes. I could see the bigger picture.
So you got involved in service
Yeah.
and purpose.
Yes.
What are some roadblocks you've hit in the past few years?
Dude, I mean, I was in a grip of unhealthy relationships at the beginning of me getting off drugs and alcohol. My parents didn't trust me for a second, so it was very difficult because they kept questioning if I was on drugs and drinking when I wasn't.
Yeah, that's
and that
always-
really is difficult.
That makes sense, though.
It made me want to do drugs and get drunk, you know. I had a couple, you know, close people to me die from drugs and alcohol. People who were actually leading me through this died, you know, overdosed on drugs and alcohol. And those were very hard times for me, right? Because I didn't realize, man, like that I couldn't live life like a normal person. Like my brain was different.
What do you mean?
Like when I was off drugs and alcohol, man, like it was like I was hypersensitive to everything. And I really needed, like, you know, people's help to get through any situation, man. And it's like I couldn't handle life. It was like too overwhelming, right? Especially when I first got off drugs. So I was like grabbing for any fucking thing I could, dude. It was like I was drowning. But I knew I needed to make the effort or else I was going to die and pick up drugs and alcohol again. And dude, I've overcome a lot of those relationships and a lot of the deaths very right when I got off drugs and alcohol, which were really hard for me, dude. And my family was not rooting for me. Like, of course they wanted me to be sober and they would pray one day, but dude, they didn't want to get their hopes up.
Yeah, they didn't want to get invested.
Dude, what? How many times they're waiting for the shoe to drop, right? All they
it's dropped
saw.
a couple of times already.
Many, dude. Many, 10 plus, dude. So it's like the thing with my mom is like she'd hope that she didn't have to bury her son. But she was prepared for it well before. Yeah.
All right. So talk to me a little bit about what you're doing now.
Dude, let me say this.
I got to get close to the mic.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Dude, it's a whole world of difference, man. If you told me my life was going to be this way, I'd fucking, there's no way. Okay. Cause this is the difference, man. My whole life I've been miserable, like after I started drugs at least. And then like right before that, I was getting bullied and I felt disconnected. And it's like today, the most important thing that I have is that I have connection. And you mentioned that. Do I have connection with people I love, man? So my family trusts me. It's very important. My mom and me and my whole family were best friends. Mm-hmm. I have a key to their fucking house, right? I watch their dogs. Like, they trust me, dude. I used to steal all their fucking things, everything. And dude, I have all the fucking incredible friends, right? Because, dude, I never thought I should be treated nicely, so I always had these shithead friends. But these dudes that I have today, man, will do anything for me. Anytime I call, they do something for me, right? And I can tell them any emotion I'm going through. No one's gonna make fun of me. That's so key, dude, in my life. I've never had that kind of connection, right? So with my family, a connection I never thought fucking existed. And then with my friends too. Those are very important things. Also, dude, is the main thing about the difference in my life today compared to where it was before is I love myself. I fucking love, dude. It makes love me is emotional. Like wetness dripping down a girl's thigh, or that. Thank you, because it cued me away from the emotion.
Well, and is that from the esteemable action that you've been doing?
So let me drop this. It's kind of crazy, but as humans, dude, what I've realized is if you're doing continuous wrong things, like you're taking the wrong action continuously, that lowers your self-worth completely. And you can battle me on that, but it's the truth, dude.
You want self-esteem, do esteemable things.
Exactly.
Well, I fucking believe that, dude. That's a huge thing. I believe
it is a huge thing, dude.
Because, you can't do even
hold on, there's a story, right, dude? At that time when you're talking about when you got sober, it was around this time, and it was a summer day.
Yeah.
And I called you up.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, dude, we're going to go help some people today.
Oh, dude, this is an incredible story.
We're going to go help some people today, dude. So I drive fucking 45 minutes to go pick you up.
Yeah.
Come back, you're like, what are we doing? I'm like, oh, we're just going to help set this thing up, dude. It's okay. And then we get to this one place, and we're picking up all these tables and chairs, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, and you've reminded me of it, but I didn't remember this till you reminded me of the story was, you were like, why are we doing this? And I was like, so we might just stay sober today.
This changed.
What was it actually for, though?
So he calls me, right? And he's like, yo, I'm picking you up. And I don't think you lied to me, but you're like, we're going to go do something. You like didn't tell me.
Go get ice cream.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what the fuck was going to happen. He's like, oh, we're going to fucking, have a great time. And we get to this fucking treatment or this place. And he's like, dude, it's 120 degrees outside. Okay. It's like 110 at least.
too hot.
It's fucking Arizona, right? And it's the middle of the summer. And he's like, yo, we're going to go move tables and chairs. And dude, I have 2 weeks off drugs and alcohol? Maybe a little longer than that, maybe a couple months.
Yeah, what a torture.
And I was like, dude, fuck you. I was so pissed. Here's the thing. I never forgot it till this day, dude. It completely changed my life. What he said to me. What fucking Chad said to me, dude. He goes, when we're walking, he's walking to his car, or we're walking to the car together. I don't fucking remember, but he looks back at me, and I was like, dude, that was fucking bullshit. Like, why are we doing this? Right? Why'd you make me do that? We did for hours, dude. And he's like, you might just stay sober today. Right? Might. And that's what really fucking stuck with me though, man. Cause like, here's the deal. A lot of people don't, people who don't deal with addiction, right? It's, how would they understand? Right. I don't blame them, but I'm saying like for people who deal with addiction and like substance use problems and alcohol problems, man, it's like, dude, that's what I do. And I will forever do that if I don't do contrary action. Forever. And I could slip back like that, dude. It's been 4 years since I've done any of that, and I could fucking today. Right? So I have to follow these things, man. And talk about walking, climbing over obstacles. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. Obstacles hit me every day.
And it's a beautiful transition
Yeah.
because not only are those the actions that we can take, obviously, to stay sober, but I believe, too, that those are actions that can be taken when we're struggling with something deeper than addiction.
Anything.
It's like,
Anything.
I'm feeling real bad about myself right now, dude, and it's me. But it's like, I can go out there and just be helpful to somebody, and in return, they can give me something that they could never understand.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, help me move these fucking tables and chairs 120. No, I don't want to fucking do that.
Right.
But I do that, and at the end of the day, I look back at that and I go, damn, that felt good.
Right.
That felt good to be helpful. That felt good to go out of my way to do something nice.
Everyone who's ever like held a door for somebody, right, to like let them into a store or whatever.
Oh, dude, you get stuck holding the door for like 20 people. You're like,
too.
son of a bitch.
But that too. But dude, I've never felt worse. I've always felt better after doing even little things, man.
Yeah.
But your question, man, the biggest difference today from prior, dude, I had no purpose and it was chaos 24/7 prior. Okay, I have complete peace and serenity today, and there's fucking dude, there's no chaos at all. Like, life happens. Life's difficult. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my life's fucking amazing 24/7.
What are the disciplines?
The disciplines, dude, is I stay on regimen, right? Like, I wake up and I have certain things that I do every day, right? Like, I pray.
Is that new ED drug?
Yeah, dude.
Stay on regimen.
CBD.
Dude, always, dude. I'm just popping stuff. No, I'm just playing. So I wake up, man, and I like dedicate my time to getting connected. So I don't go back to that, man. Like, I wake up, I pray, I meditate. I do all these sorts of things, man. I do readings, spiritual readings. I call people and check on them, man. Because here's the deal. A lot of my drug use and alcohol is my problem with being self-centered in life. And I realize that when I isolate and push people away, man, I'm fucked.
Okay.
So I need to stay connected. So that's a huge discipline. I stay connected as much as I possibly can. I can always grow.
Yeah.
I lack in certain areas. But dude, these are the disciplines that I do every day. And dude, it's my whole day though.
Well, what are you working on now?
Dude, right now I'm really working on being 100% authentic Taylor everywhere I am.
Present.
Yeah, completely me. No fake. No, and I think for the most part I am that, right? But you can always grow. And it's like, dude, you know, my biggest thing, man, is I lived 14 lives back when I was doing drugs and alcohol. Nobody knew who I was. If I was around you, I was you.
Or what you wanted.
Exactly. Or what I knew someone else wanted.
Got it.
Right? Now I'm Taylor.
No matter what.
No matter what, dude. And it's like you constantly have to work on it is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, I think I am authentic Taylor all the time, but it's like it's a fucking huge discipline, dude. Because my brain still tells me, oh, dude, get a little attention. Ooh, that feels nice. You know what I mean? And I want to act out and I want to be fake and I want to be this and I want to be that. And it's subconscious. So I have to be careful, man. I have to watch everything that I do. Always.
Well, what defect do you fall into the most?
Dude, I mean,
Still attention seeking?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Absolutely, dude. Sometimes social media, dude, gets me every time. Yeah. When I'm struggling with anything in my life, it kind of bleeds into other things. And that's when my defects will come out of my character, which would be seeking. I'll get on Instagram and I'll post some dumb shit that I know feels completely wrong because that's not who I am, and just to get attention. And then but here's the difference, okay? I'd post some wild shit in the past and not care. I delete it like 30 minutes later every time because I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed, dude. That's not who I am, man. And that's not being authentic Taylor. So that's kind of what it looks like, man. And you know, another thing I really struggled with, I always struggled with seeking, and you heard it in my whole story, but seeking validation externally. So it's not just attention, man. It doesn't have to be attention. It could be sex. It could be gambling. It could be anything, dude. It doesn't matter. As long as it gives me a feel good, you know, my receptors get happy, then I can get stuck on it because of my addictive personality. So there's times where my brain will tell me to do that, and I'll fall short, dude.
When you're talking about hard stuff, like when you're talking about sex or talking about, you know, social media, you know, for me, I would ask you where the action lies. Like, are you staying more off of social media? Are you staying away from women? Or are you changing your behavior with women? What is it?
Right. So social media is very intentional for my speaking now. Like, I'm very intentional with what I post. Okay. So I am staying off. I'm not on it to scroll as much. I very much so shorten that time. So that's the discipline there. Okay. So I don't get, you know, all fucking, oh, Taylor's going to be fake Taylor right now. And then with the women, man, like I had a lot of problems with I'm just gonna be fully honest, dude. Like I had a lot of problems with back in the day. I'd use women all the time, right? For just sexual things, and it's just not. It's so not who I am, and I struggled with learning how to not do that in sobriety. And the ways that I have not done that is that it's really with me because it was deeper than just having sex. It was that deep abandonment thing, man. That I was seeking love, right? And I had to work on myself. I had to work on myself. I did a lot of work, inner healing on myself. And dude, I don't do that shit anymore. I don't do that shit anymore. You know?
Did you have to hit a bottom in that?
Yes. Yes. So I got married and divorced in sobriety, right? And everybody in my life dropped me out of their life. They're like, why? Because they hated her. It was not a good choice. Okay. It was not a good choice. And it was completely Taylor and delusion. Because I got caught up in the sexual things and like that, and then I got caught up in the relationship, and it was somebody to give me that validation, man. Even off drugs and alcohol. I had a year and a half when I met her, right? And I married her.
Yeah, a year and a half off drugs and alcohol, and you met a girl and you got married.
So the problem's not the drugs and alcohol, man. The problem is me.
Right.
And I got married, and I was only married for 2 months.
Was she also in the program?
She was not.
Okay.
But she drank very heavily. I can't say she was an alcoholic, but she drank a lot. And that was hard. I'm surprised I stayed sober. I'm gonna be real too, because I was with her for 2 years, but we only married for 2 months, right? And that was one of my bottoms. Okay, that enabled me to, because when I left, right, it was only a year ago. I left July 1st. Yeah.
Wow, man, we're coming up on a year.
Yeah. And dude, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Harder than getting sober was leaving that.
Really?
It was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was more of a drug than anything ever was to me. And I left, man, and I knew that I was gonna get back on drugs and alcohol, or I was gonna kill myself or something if I didn't do work. And I did a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
So that was my bottom. But that's the bottom that enabled me to not want to feel that way and keep getting in the same relationships, man. Yeah. I've always struggled with women, always. So now, dude, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't really talk to women, dude. I don't sleep around. It's just, dude, and I'm okay. Guess why though? Why I can do this? This is the best part. Okay, this is the fucking best part. Is because I'm okay with myself, dude. And that's so deep, right? It's a beautiful thing because I've never been here and I never thought I could get here. And I want to say, I'm gonna shout out to the people watching for a second, right? If anybody does watch this, dude, it's like, the only reason I am here, I mean, there's a lot of other reasons, but the main reason for me is that I never gave up on myself, you know? And that's super fucking key, right? That's super fucking key. I was close many times, man, but I'm only here because I keep wanting to be the better Taylor every day, dude. That's the only reason, you know?
Yeah. Dude, that's a hell of a way to wrap it up. We're honestly 8 minutes over, and I was just going to let you, I was going to ask you, synthesize. But for you would say, just don't give up on yourself.
Dude, as long as you are breathing and walking and alive, right, you have a chance at a better life. Period.
Great, man.
Wow.
Seriously, good stuff, dude.
Yeah, that shit's wild, dude. The only way you can get to that kind of stuff is obviously through a lot of pain. So thank you for being transparent and sharing all that with us today, dude.
Of course.
Please like and follow the podcast,
course,
dude.
man.
You can follow Taylor Popp on Instagram, officially Taylor Popp, dude. And check out all his dope ass shit. We'll put his link in the fucking bio,
Dope.
dude. Oh my God, I love you guys so much, dude. Just keep doing your thing out there, babies.
Thanks again.
Mwah.
Dude, of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Sick.